The man had relived the same day 10,000 times. Even though he awakened the only hidden class, cultivator, he couldn't level up at all. After 5 long years stuck at the same rank, he was expelled from school. This world was one where the game had merged with reality. Everyone got to choose their class at the age of 18. He was the very first to be specially admitted to the nation's top academy, Kyoto Vocational University. His first day there caused a nationwide sensation. After all, he had awakened the one and only hidden class, cultivator. But soon, he discovered a devastating problem. He couldn't gain a single level. His peers had long surpassed him, rising from bronze to silver, gold, and even higher ranks. Still, he didn't give up. He threw 10,000 punches every single day, reaching Chi training level 6, his strength soaring to several thousand jin. Yet, in front of his classmates, it still wasn't impressive, not even close to a level 30 bronze power type. Fortunately, fate hadn't abandoned him. His golden sheet finally arrived. Zhu Xing was thrilled. He started grinding with female teammates, showing incredible prowess in dungeon runs. After clearing the raid, he earned a few white-tier items and a handsome carry fee. One of the girls even fell for him. From then on, the two lived a shamelessly indulgent life. Zhu Xing didn't slack off though. He found an ancient technique called Pengu creation art, but to his disappointment, it gave him no improvement, nearly crippled him instead. Good times never last. A year later, that girl advanced a silver rank and left it behind. Shocked and heartbroken, he turned grief into motivation, training harder until he broke through to Chi training level. Though he still couldn't graduate, his reputation as a top-tier carry drew more female players to him. Within just 3 years, he'd amassed millions in assets. Just as he started to relax, thinking he could coast through life, the academy expelled him. Thankfully, with the help of his buddy, Yupongzi, he opened an equipment shop for classers and made a fortune. Then one day, his parents told him that his sister, Sun Yainen, was dead. He couldn't understand how she could die so suddenly. 3 years later, his best friend Yupanzi was gone too. A chill ran down Zhu Xing's spine. No way. Yupanzi was one of Kyoto Academy's prodigies. How could he just die like that? He trained hard again and a year later finally reached body refining stage. One quiet afternoon, Zhu Xing was chilling in the courtyard. Suddenly, a colossal beast appeared in the sky, blocking out the sun. None of the planet's strongest fighters could stop it, and just like that, he died at the age of 36. The system offered him 2 reward options. 1, the spirit root bearer talent. 2, his body refining stage 9 cultivation. The apocalypse would arrive in 15 years. He believed that if he kept simulating, he'd eventually find a way to break the cycle. He chose the spirit root bear talent. This simulation came with a surprise bonus. The simulator seemed to recharge using white-tier equipment. Just then, Yupanzi kicked open the door, saying 6 freshman girls were waiting outside the dorm. One of them ridiculously cute. Zhu Xing told them 2,000 per run. Any loot drops belong to me. Among them was none other than Wang Qingxian, who had appeared in one of his previous simulations. The monster looked like a ferocious boar, couldn't even take a single punch from Zhu Xing. The girls gasped in awe, but Wang Qingxian shyly looked away. Her gaze towards Zhu Xing filled with pink-hearted affection. He led her into a small dark room holding a thin wooden stick in hand. Listen, Junior, he said, repeat after me: prosperity, democracy, civilization. Wang Qingxian froze. This wasn't what she had in mind at all. For girls like her, standing on the edge of temptation, Zhu Xing's motto was simple: spiritual redemption first. Freedom and equality, he lectured, never walked the path of crime. Got it? After a week of grinding, he finally saved up 200,000 credits. With that, he started his second simulation. The system rewarded him with another chance to draw a random talent. His white-tier talent was business elite. It sharpened Zhu Xing's instincts, allowing him to see profit opportunities others couldn't and earn more in every deal. He was quite satisfied with it. With his talent, he could build up wealth faster than ever. Within just 1 year, he earned 30 million. 2 years later, he had become a billionaire. With his growing empire, Zhu Xing founded a trading organization called Taro Society. 2 years after that, he was expelled from school and targeted for assassination. To everyone's shock, the assassin was none other than Wang Qingxian. Senior, you have to join the secret organization. If you refuse, I'll have no choice but to kill you. Zhu Xing snapped his fingers. Several bodyguards rushed toward her, but she took them all down in seconds. Zhu Xing was stunned. She had awakened a Grandmaster tier class, something only prodigies like Yupanzi had ever achieved. And in just 5 years, Wang Qingxian had gone from bronze rank to Grandmaster. Su Xing's breath caught. There had to be an enormous secret behind that mysterious organization. You helped me once, Senior, she said softly. I don't want to kill you. But the next second, she did something unspeakable to him. After that night, Su Xing searched everywhere for her. But news came, Wang Qingxian was dead. A Grandmaster-level powerhouse gone just like that. He was sure the secret organization was behind it. Yet no matter how deep he dug, he found nothing. 2 years later, his cultivation finally reached the peak of the Qi training realm. To prevent his sister from dying again, Su Xing told her not to enter any dungeons for a whole year. Yet, the following year, she still died. Investigation revealed that she had perished inside a dungeon called Demon Suppression Pass, and his best friend Fat Yu died that same year as well. Even worse, most of his former classmates had died there too, and strangely, every one of them had a reason they couldn't refuse to enter. Su Xing had no choice but to keep running simulations. Before long, he became the top business magnate of Kyoto. To avoid the coming catastrophe 4 years later, he sold all his assets and crossed the ocean to another continent. There, he encountered all kinds of unique classes, gunslingers, vampires, werewolves, and more. A year later, disaster struck again. A colossal beast appeared above the pretty country and he realized the truth. There wasn't just one monster attacking the world. The demons unleashed an endless curse wiping out the entire nation. Su Xing died once more at the age of 36. Simulation ended. The rewards were the same, business elite talent or body refining perfection. He chose to bring his perfected body refining cultivation back into reality, making himself the equal of a silver tier classer. With this power, he could acquire more gear and conduct even more simulations. Still, frustration gnawed at him. Was the apocalypse 15 years from now truly unavoidable? He began to suspect that humanity's upper echelon already knew and deliberately kept it secret to prevent mass panic. He also noticed something odd. Everyone else's panel displayed levels, but his only showed cultivation. That meant he could only learn skills related to cultivation. A week later, he spent 400,000 dragon coins to start another simulation. As usual, the first step was drawing a white tier talent. This time, he drew one called Unyielding Death. As the name implied, it allowed him to simulate 1 extra day after dying. Su Xing found it quite useful. If he played it right, he might extract key intel from his enemies. The start was the same as always, carrying juniors through dungeons, earning 20 million fast. Then, as usual, he gave Wang Qingxian another dose of his favorite chicken soup for the soul, lessons in prosperity, democracy, and civilization. As expected, Wang Qingxian received another invitation from the secret organization. When Su Xing woke up, she was already gone. It seemed she had joined them. Years later, she returned to find him once again. "How have you been all these years?" he asked, but she stayed silent. That night, they shared another bittersweet reunion. The next morning, she left without a word, leaving behind a manual under his pillow. The title read Chong Chun Art. Su Xing couldn't believe it. Real cultivation techniques existed in this world after all. He finally saw hope for true cultivation. Yet to his despair, a month later he was still stuck at Qi training level 1. Then it hit him. Could it be because there's no spiritual energy in this world? It had to be. He had the spiritual root and the method. The only thing missing was Qi itself. But before that, there was something even more urgent. He had to stop his sister and Yupangzi. He thought everything was under control, but then the officials themselves came personally inviting his sister to join the Demon Suppression Pass mission. Su Xing refused outright, begging her to listen to him. To his shock, she released the aura of a Grandmaster tier classer. In the end, he still had to let her go. A month later, news came. His sister had fallen in battle. Soon after, Yupanzi left as well, saying only one line, "As a Grandmaster, I must fulfill my duty." Once again, Su Xing rose to become a business magnate. He poured all his wealth in a searching for traces of spiritual energy until one day, a mysterious man appeared before him. Without a word, the man killed him on the spot. Su Xing immediately activated his talent, Unyielding Death. He wanted to see who that man was and why he'd been targeted. The truth, the man was after the Chongqing art. Su Xing realized he was likely from the same organization as Wang Qingxian. The man crushed his skull underfoot and Unyielding Death failed the trigger again. In his final moments, Su Xing saw the killer's face clearly, and swore that one day he'd return the favor. In this life, he didn't even make it to the apocalypse. A mysterious man killed him long before that. But Su Xing didn't lose heart. With unyielding death, he could see what happened after Doomsday. He could find out who started the cataclysm. Chongqing art could always be farmed again in the next simulation, but unyielding death might never appear twice. So this time, he chose to bring the Chongqing art back to reality. His top priority now, make money fast. Next run, he had to secure that technique. So he went back to power leveling with his junior girls. The dungeon monsters were doomed. Each one turned into his next paycheck. And that look of admiration from the girls, it nearly brought him to tears. In just 1 week, he made 700,000 and looted 600 white tier items. He started another simulation. This time, he drew a white tier talent, calm as still water. Its effect, no matter how stormy his heart was, his expression stayed perfectly calm. In short, a poker face. The next year passed much the same, grinding dungeons, training juniors. To avoid disrupting fate's path, he intentionally kept his distance from Wang Qingxian. As before, Wang Qingxian received an invitation from the secret organization and left reluctantly after saying goodbye. A year later, Su Xing was expelled from the academy once again. Leaving campus, he rebuilt the Taro Society, dealing in second-hand gear while quietly waiting for her return. One day, she appeared right on schedule. After a night together, she once again left behind the Chongqing art. Just like last time, he couldn't cultivate it. The only thing left to do was continue searching for spiritual energy. He still failed to stop his sister from heading to the demon suppression pass. A month later, word came she was dead. Another year passed and Yupanzi followed her to the grave. That year, Su Xing invested all his money into the potion industry, planning to cash out and move to the pretty country to escape that unreasonable assassin. But then he received news about spiritual energy. He drove straight to Jinling for the deal. Unfortunately, right before the exchange, the mysterious man found him again. And just like that, he died at 33, eyes crushed underfoot. Unyielding death failed the trigger. Furious beyond words, Su Xing cursed him to the heavens. This time, he once again chose to bring the Chongqing art back to reality. Half-step Chongqing art, the authentic cultivation art of the Chongqing sect from the Azure Cloud realm. The complete version had 6 stages reaching as high as the Return of Void level, but this half-step fragment could only train up to the core formation stage. The Chongqing art absorbed the world's spiritual energy to nourish the body, granting longevity and eternal youth. The first stage, Flourish with All Things, required rising early, resting late, and walking in harmony to refresh the spirit. The second stage, Union of Heaven and Earth. He couldn't resist testing it right away. Sure enough, it had the effects of extending life and preserving youth. Unfortunately, with the apocalypse only 15 years away, what good was immortality? Now he had the technique and the lead on the Spirit Stone. The next simulation would likely yield it. Once he obtained the stone, his path to true cultivation would begin, but he didn't know the stone's true value. How much energy would it take? He had to save up before the next simulation. Just then, Yupanzi kicked open the door. Su Xing didn't get angry. Instead, his eyes lit up. He was planning to borrow money from him. I'm a little tight this month, Yupanzi said, so I can only lend you 5 million. Don't blow it all. The next second, Su Xing froze. He couldn't remember Yupanzi's birthday. You bastard, Yupanzi roared. Give me my money back. Su Xing grinned. Relax, man. Just kidding. Then his homeroom teacher came to see him. The teacher said if Su Xing agreed to withdraw voluntarily, he'd get compensation and a cushy security guard job. Su Xing nearly punched him. They still hadn't paid him the promised 3 million entrance reward, and now they wanted Imigar Gates? What a joke. He turned around and left saying he had no plans to drop out. Cultivation on campus suited him just fine. Back at the dorm, Su Xing started another simulation. This time, his goal was to bring the Spirit Stone back to reality. The system almost made him vomit blood with his draw white tier talent. You got bald but not stronger. Effect, you go bald at a young age. Your hair falls out easily, but your bald head gives off monthly vibes, making people trust you more, activates immediately. He grabbed his hair and came away with a full handful. Panic set in. What the hell kind of garbage talent is this? The thinning hair tanked his looks and many junior girls drifted away. So he went all in and shaved it completely. Maybe it was the bald head. He started preferring hand-to-hand combat, smashing monsters with a single blow. Soon, people called him One Punch Muck. The bald head actually made him more approachable. Within a year, he surpassed his goal of 30 million. Yet Wang Qingxian still didn't mind his new look. She brought him another half of the Chongqing art. Su Xing told her he didn't need it anymore. What he wanted was the second volume of the technique. After his sister and Yupanzi's deaths, he became a business tycoon once more. Meanwhile, he used the Taro Society's network to hunt for the whereabouts of spirit stones. Rumor had it that a Grandmaster-level powerhouse in Jingling possessed a rare treasure known as the Spirit Stone. Finally, the day came. This time, he didn't accept Wang Qingxuan's manual, meaning that mysterious assassin wouldn't target him again. The Spirit Stone would determine whether he could truly begin cultivating. At last, he would meet that Grandmaster face to face. To his surprise, the Grandmaster turned out to be a stunning woman named Jin Tsung Shui with his bald head and monk-like demeanor. Su Xing quickly became close friends with her. Jin Tsung Shui possessed 3 spirit stones, each worth around 1 billion. Su Xing said confidently, "I'll take them all." 3 billion was pocket changed him. In the end, Jin Tsung Shui sold them to him at a friendship price, 30 million total. Su Xing immediately began cultivating. Just half a spirit stone pushed him to Qi training level 2. The spirit stones truly were miraculous. This time, he was finally stepping into the true path of cultivation. Jin Songshua wasn't just beautiful, she was gentle and considerate. When he emerged from seclusion, she had already cooked for him. She told him the spirit stones came from a dungeon called Azure Cloudfields. Along with them, she brought back a bag of spirit rice. What Zhu Xing was eating right then was that very spirit rice. His excitement grew. There were cultivation dungeons that meant he could farm spirit stones endlessly. Jin Songhua explained the dungeon was a limited-time 7-day instance scheduled for November 2023 west of Elven City. November 2023? That's this year. It's only October. I still have time. Jin Songhua looked a little downhearted. The old NPC in the dungeon told her she lacked the aptitude for cultivation. Otherwise, she could have gained a second opportunity. Cultivation aptitude? Su Xing smirked. That's one thing I have plenty of. He realized now the spirit stones were secondary. The true treasure was fortune and fate. With the spirit stones in hand, Su Xing trained relentlessly, his mastery deepening day by day. Just when everything seemed perfect, Jin Songshui came to say goodbye. Su Xing's heart trembled. She was heading to the demon suppression pass too. Why did everyone he cared about end up there? Jin Songshui went silent for a while before saying softly, "It's fine. I can tell you." She explained that the demon suppression pass was the lifeline of humankind, the final barrier against enemies far beyond their strength. Its situation, however, was dire, but she stopped there not because she didn't want to speak, but because she couldn't. A month later, Su Xing stood quietly before her grave. Soon after, he sold off all his assets. He broke through again, reaching the second stage of body refinement, the bone-forging realm. Yet, for the next 3 years, he made no progress at all. Then the sky split open and a colossal eye filled the heavens. Su Xing realized it had come again. He roared up at it defiantly. "One day, I'll turn the tables and devour you." He triggered unyielding death once more. The next thing he knew, he was inside the bee's stomach. The acid burned through his flesh like molten fire. Humanity fought desperately, but resistance was meaningless. As his eyes melted away and unyielding death failed, Su Xing finally understood. This was how the world ended. The system offered 4 rewards: bald but not strong, half-step bone forging realm, Qi training level 2, and 2.5 spirit stones. Without hesitation, he chose the spirit stones. He immediately started cultivating. Judging by the consumption rate, 1 spirit stone could sustain half a realm's worth of progress. Now his goal was clear: grind dungeons, earn cash. He had to run as many simulations as possible before Azure Cloudfields opened and stockpile spirit stones. With enough money, he ran another simulation. This time, he drew a talent fitness maniac granting superior physique training efficiency. The next month passed as usual: more dungeon runs, more money. In his spare time, he advanced to Qi training level 4. He caught the train right before Azure Cloudfields opened, but when he arrived, no matter where he searched, he couldn't find the dungeon. Fortunately, Jin Songshue appeared, 30 years old and at the peak of her beauty. Yet she drew her sword the moment she saw him, the blade hovering just 0.03 centimeters from his throat. Sushin didn't flinch. Excuse me. Are you Jin Songshua, senior from Kyoto Vocational University? I've seen your name on the honor board. Jin Songhua blinked. You're from Kyoto Vocational? Yes, senior. I'm Su Xing. I've been pondering a Buddhist question lately, and fate must have brought me here to ask you. Isn't this what Buddha called a karmic meeting of 3 lifetimes? Her cheeks flushed slightly. So you just wanted to ask a question? Fine, then ask. Su Xing clasped his hands seriously. Senior, tell me which came first, the chicken or the egg? Jin Songshua froze, dizzy from shock. This junior really is enlightened. He just opened with one of the 10 great Zen paradoxes. We can talk about that question on the way. Judging by your direction, you're heading to Jinling too, right? And just like that, Su Xing found himself a reliable guide. Together, they located the azure cloud fields. Waiting for them was an old man with branches growing from his head. This is an immortal secret realm. Only those with great fortune may enter. Seems you two are blessed indeed. The next second, he tossed them each a hoe. I've got 2 acres of spirit fields. You'll help me tend them. If the spirit grain grows well, I'll grant you a chance at fate. Jin Songshua was dumbfounded. Tend the fields? She had never even seen normal rice. How was she supposed to manage spirit grain? Then she noticed Su Xing was already working like a pro. With no choice, she asked him for help. Boosted by the system, Su Xing was basically running on cheat mode. After finishing, he seized a moment to meditate and quickly broke through to Chi training level 5. He was absolutely thrilled. 7 days later, the old man came to inspect their work, and seeing the lush spirit fields nodded in satisfaction. Then came the rewards. Jin Songshua received 2 bags of spirit stones. The next moment, she was engulfed in light and teleported away. Su Xing was stunned. The old man said calmly, "Don't worry. I merely sent her out of the instance. Now place your hand here." A golden light flared between their palms. The old man frowned slightly. A mixed 5-element root, Su Xing still shamelessly pleaded, "Please take me as your disciple." With that kind of aptitude, the old man snorted. "You'd be a waste of time." "Then what kind of talent is worthy to become your disciple?" Su Xing pressed. At the very least, the old man said, "A dual spiritual root." Su Xing fell silent. His spiritual root was a white tier talent. No wonder his aptitude was mediocre. To grasp this chance, he need to draw a green tier spiritual route next time. In the end, the old man rewarded him with 30 spirit stones and 30 caddies of spirit rice. Cultivate well, the old man said. Never let poor aptitude dull your resolve. 2 years later, his sister died in service. 3 years after that, Yupanzi fell as well. Su Xing was still powerless to change anything. Soon, his net worth surpassed 10 billion. He met Jin Songshua again. "I want to buy the spirit stones you're holding," he said. Jin Songshua's face flushed red. "I don't want money, but I do have one condition. You just look at yourself. You're the kind of man who's lived through stories." A month later, news came. Jin Songshua was dead. 4 years later, the sky darkened as the colossal beast returned just as before. Another 4 years passed. The monster appeared again. Su Xing died at age 36. Simulation complete. The system offered 4 rewards: Fitness Maniac, Bone Forging Realm LV.5, Chi Training LV.5, and 40 Spirit Stones. There was no Spirit Rice this time. Looks like he couldn't break through bone tempering yet. He'd better save some rice for later. He chose the Spirit Stones again, but he didn't have enough money, only half the required amount. The system demanded 4,000 energy points to redeem. He called Yupanzi. "Hey, you there?" "Yeah." "What's up? I'm about to enter a dungeon. You scared the crap out of me. Bro, I'm a little short on funds. Can you lend me, like, a 100 million? Yupanzi's cheerful tone vanished. "You think I'm an ATM? A 100 million? You're dreaming. I'll lend you 50 million, not a cent more." Su Xing's eardrums were ringing. Moments later, 50 million hit his Huapay account. "Thanks, bro." With the previous 5 million, he now had 55 million in total. Alright, time to bulk order 50,000 white tier items. The Azure Cloudfields dungeon was opening next month in reality, meaning he still had 4 simulations left. A week later, he started another one hoping for a lucky roll. This time, he drew a green tier talent, Longevity. What the hell am I supposed to do with that? I'm a cultivator, not a retiree. Dying young is part of the job. Still, he managed to grind out 10 extra spirit stones. Not bad overall. A week later, he tried again, praying for a spiritual root talent. The system trolled him again, giving him a sword master talent. What am I supposed to do with that? Serve meat to monks. After that run ended, he chose spirit rice as his reward. Su Xing turned to mysticism hoping fate would bless him with a green tier's spiritual root talent. But luck wasn't on his side. He drew a ridiculous one. So handsome hurts, also known as face like Edison. What kind of garbage talent is this? I'm not trying to be an idol. What good's a pretty face? He muttered. The talent was so absurd, even the system fell for him. Wait, this is me? Damn. I'm gorgeous. Su Xing took his juniors out for another grinding session. Stay alert. Don't let the monster's gaze hit you. If it does, stab its eyes right away. He ordered, yes, senior, that beast is so hot. Wait, no. The senior who's hot. The girls giggled. Focus. This is a dungeon run, not a date. He scolded helplessly, yet their eyes sparkled with hearts. Senior, if I'm not mistaken, that's the 278th time I've caught you sneaking glances at me. Even a mirror seemed to swoon back at him. Man, am I really that handsome? Things got worse. Senior, please carry us next run. Talent agencies reached out and even guys hit on him. Hey handsome. Wanna skip 20 years of hard work? Terrified, Su Xing bolted. Being good-looking is a full-time curse, he sighed. He decided to hole up in his dorm and cultivate quietly. Later, he went to Jingling and coincidentally met Jin Tsung Shui. Fate brought us together. How about a drink? She smiled. Su Xing thought to himself, guess all those Buddhist riddles were useless. Having a good face really is enough. The old man's first words when meeting him were, kid, you've got a fine face. His looks alone almost convinced the elder to take him as a disciple. Sadly, his aptitude was too low. In the end, the elder merely gave him extra spirit stones. This world's hopeless. Even cultivation runs on face value. Su Xing sighed. The system offered 3 options, face like Edison, Foundation Realm LV2, and 105 spirit stones. You thick-browed traitor of a system, he groaned. Even you judge by looks. Fine. You're so charmed. You're giving me another free face like Edison activation. A free green tier talent wasn't bad. With it, he was sure to roll dual routes next time. For now, he decided to save up spirit stones. A week later, he activated the one-time face like Edison talent. Come on, system bro. Let me pull a green root talent, he prayed. You don't want me dying halfway through my rebirth, right? Even blew the system a kiss, drawing green tier talent. Ding. Congratulations, host. You've obtained wood fire dual root. Your aptitude now surpasses ordinary mortals, no longer the lowest 5-element mix. You can now cultivate wood and fire type techniques. Finally, a green grade wood fire dual root. You can now absorb an entire spirit stone in just one day. As expected, in cultivation, talent is everything. Within a single week, Su Shang had reached the Qi training stage LV5. Su Shang met Jin Tsung Shua once again and successfully received a new quest from the old cultivator. After the mission ended, the elder kept him behind. Your potential isn't bad, the old man said calmly. You may yet walk the path of cultivation. Would affinity suits spirit field cultivation while fire affinity grants talent in alchemy? Seizing the moment, Su Xing asked, Master, would you take me as your disciple? The old man shook his head. You started too late, boy. You've missed the best age for cultivation. Unwilling to accept it, Su Xing asked, if I had started normally, what realm would I be in now? At least the Golden Core realm, the elder replied. That meant to be accepted, Su Xing would need to reach Golden Core before the next Azure Cloud Fields dungeon opened. The elder handed him a jade slip. Inject your spiritual energy into this. You'll see the method within. It was a brand new cultivation technique. One Su Xing had a master before the apocalypse arrived. 6 years passed. Su Xing finally grasped the basics of divine farmer spirit arts, learning to grow spirit rice and harvesting 1,000 caddies of subgrade crops. After eating the rice, his body cultivation broke through to the bone-forging realm. Proudly, he approached Jin Songshua. These spirit grains are my own harvest. I like to trade them for 20 spirit stones. Jin Songshua smiled softly. Then I'll be counting on you this next month. Su Xing's face once again told 1,000 stories. Suddenly, a thunderous boom split the heavens as a colossal, moon-blotting eye opened above. System prompt, choose one of the following rewards. Woodfire dual root, green talent, 10,000 energy points. Foundation Realm LV.3 2,700 energy points. Bone Forging Realm LV.7 7,500 energy points. Divine Farmer Spirit Arts Celestial Skill 1 billion energy points. 50 caddies of subgrade Spirit Rice 25,000 energy points. Cultivation Insight from Simulation 10,000 energy points. You can even buy Enlightenment. He muttered 10 billion points. This art is God tier. He vowed to get the technique from the old man in reality. There wouldn't be another chance for dual routes like this again. Ding. System prompt. Detected existing white tier spiritual root talent. Would fire dual root will overwrite it. Su Xing glanced down at his body in alarm. He exhaled in relief. Phew, only got bigger. He decided before the dungeon opened he'd run one last simulation. This time his goal was Golden Core Realm. A week later, the day of the simulation happened to coincide with the dungeon's opening. Su Xing could only run the simulation mid-flight. The moment he sat down, he whispered, "System, start simulation." Ding. Congratulations, host. You've obtained a white tier talent. Steadfast face, your features appear righteous and dependable, making others instinctively trust you. After landing, Su Xing went straight to look for Jin Songshui. Activating Steadfast face, he immediately noticed her reaction. Why does this junior I've never met seem so trustworthy? She thought. He completed the old cultivator's task without a hitch. The elder asked, "You really only want 1,000 spirit stones? Don't wish to become my disciple?" "Very well," the old man sighed, "your realm's too low anyway. If you don't value this chance, I won't force you." After receiving the stones, Su Xing chose a feng shui blessed land and went into seclusion. During this time, Sun Yinan, Yuan, and Jin Songshui all passed away. Time blurred. When the last stone crumbled to dust, his closed-door training finally ended. Foundation Realm, 9th layer, just a step away from Golden Core, but out of stones, he muttered, "Ding." Simulation complete. Rewards, Steadfast Face, White Talent, 1,000 energy points, or Foundation Realm LV.9, Cultivation 9,800 points. Only Foundation LV.9. It's because I ran out of spirit stones again. He looked ahead, eyes blazing, but Azure Cloud Fields has real spiritual energy. This time, it's not simulation, it's reality. It would be his first time meeting Jin Songshui in person. Calm down. He reminded himself, you're the man who memorized the 10 great Buddhist paradoxes. Soon, he spotted her silhouette. Hard to believe she's already 30. She doesn't look a day over 22. Senior, are you Jin Songshui? I've seen you on the campus ranking. Fate brings us together. Are you heading to Jinling too? She waved dismissively. Sorry. I'm in a hurry. If there's nothing else, I'll be going. He panicked. Damn. I forgot. No talents active. To her, I'm just a random stranger. Time for plan B. He pulled out a bunch of scrolls and accidentally dropped them all over the floor. My ancient manuals. Jin Songshui paused. Curiosity sparked. Su Xing crouched to pick them up, sighing, what a tragedy. These are rare finds from an antique bookstore. She crouched too. You study Buddhism? Just a hobby. Nothing compared to your research, senior. You know I like Buddhist philosophy? She asked, surprised. Of course, he smiled. I've read your thesis in the academy library. As in the simulation, she smiled. Then it must be fate. Since we're both heading to Jingling, let's travel together. Su Xing's heart leapt. Here it comes. The dungeon trigger. Chatted pleasantly along the way. He could tell the dungeon reveal was close. Senior, look, there's light over there. Jin Songshui's eyes sharpened as she hurried toward the glow. Su Xing followed, his pulse racing. Finally, a real dungeon. This time, I'll become a disciple for real. Junior, temporary dungeons are dangerous. You haven't even graduated. Don't go in. I have you, senior. You wanted me die. Right? Her heart softened. You trust me that much? Whatever happens, don't leave my side, she said seriously. A terraced valley spread before them. So this is the Azure Cloud Fields? He whispered. The real-world air was nothing like the simulation. Rich, dense, intoxicating with spirit energy. Such pure chi. If I train here, I can break through for sure. Stay cautious. Jin Songshui warned. Many dungeons look peaceful but hide death, feigning familiarity. Su Xing smiled. Senior, look, there's a thatch hut over there. Should we check it out? The old man suddenly appeared. How did you two find my hidden abode? He asked. Jean Songhua explained, "We stumbled upon a rainbow-colored entrance and followed it in." The elder stroked his beard. "So fate has guided you here. Since you're blessed with luck, how about I grant you a chance, an opportunity of fortune? I'm too occupied with cultivation and seldom tend to my fields. Would you two lend me a hand?" Su Xing readily agreed. Leaning close, he whispered, "Senior, this old man's pretty nice. Just wants us to do some farming. Too bad this is only a temporary dungeon." Jean Songshu blinked. "You know how to farm?" "Of course. I'm from the countryside. Every year I plowed at least once." They stepped into the fields and Su Xing motioned for her to start pulling weeds. He then carried 2 buckets of water and began irrigating. Finally, he quietly infused spiritual energy into the spirit grain, helping it grow faster. Jean Songhua asked, "Su Xing, why would a cultivator's trial involve farming? Could there be some hidden meaning?" Su Xing grinned. "Who cares? The mountains are beautiful. The air is rich with qi. Farming's pretty relaxing if you ask me." Jean Songhua frowned. "The harder the mission, the greater the reward. But this one's just farming. How good can a prize be?" Su Xing ignored her, sinking into cultivation. For those without a spiritual root, this place was worthless. For him, it was worth 10,000 spirit stones. The old man noticed his aura and widened his eyes in surprise. 7 days later, while Jean Songhua was watering the grain, a violent surge of energy erupted behind her. She turned, startled. Su Xing was at the brink of breakthrough. Foundation peak, just one more step to the golden core realm. Jean Songhua and the elder rushed over. "Su Xing, are you okay?" she asked. "So the young man's a cultivator," the old man said in awe. "May I ask what element your root is?" Su Xing rubbed his head. "Well, I kinda stumbled into cultivation. I'm not even sure what element I am. Unknown attributes, yet cultivation at the peak. Impressive. Place your hand here, young one." "Here it comes," Su Xing thought, his heart racing. The first step to becoming his disciple. "Wood and fire dual root," the old man announced. "Not top tier, but sufficient for the path of cultivation and perfectly suited for alchemy." Stroking his beard, he continued, "The technique you practice, Chongqing art of the evergreen sect, has a modest upper limit but ideal for beginners. Wood energy nurtures life and returns all things to nature. It's a perfect match for the art of spirit farming." The old man smiled warmly. "Fate brings people together. I'm a humble farmer of the Azure Cloud sect, down name Qing Yunzi. Would you like to become my disciple? I could take you in as an outer registrant." Su Xing's eyes gleamed. Dropping to his knees, he bowed. "Disciple greets master." The old man nodded approvingly. "Good. Since you've joined my sect, I have 3 gifts for you. The first is an immortal art, Shenong's spirit cultivation technique. I obtained it by chance and have spent 1,000 years trying to master it, yet never achieved perfection. I see great talent in your farming and cultivation roots. If you can master this art, you'll earn a place among the strong of the 3,000 worlds." Su Xing stared at the bamboo scroll, eyes wide. "A 100,000 energy points. This manual's worth a 100,000 points. The second gift," Qing Yunzi continued, "is this personal pocket dimension, 3-inch blessed land. It's small, barely 100 meters across, but filled with pure qi, perfect for research and spirit cultivation." Su Xing kowtowed deeply. "Thank you, master." The third gift is the Azure Cloud token of the Azure Cloud sect. Even as a registered disciple, it grants you standing within the sect. Once you reach the spirit return realm, use it to enter the sect proper. Su Xing's heart leapt, a genuine immortal sect. "If I can join them for real, I've hit the jackpot." "Master," he asked, "you said I'm suited for alchemy, but I don't have any alchemy techniques." "I'm not skilled in alchemy myself," the old man chuckled, but he handed over an ancient scroll. "This is the Crimson Fire Alchemy Codex. It holds 360 pill formulas, enough to start your journey." Su Xing held the scroll reverently. "With this, training and money won't be a problem anymore. Remember, Qing Yunzi warned, don't bite off more than you can chew. The Chongqing art you already practice will take you to the spirit return realm. When you master it fully, confine me again." With that, he vanished in a streak of light. "Master, wait, my technique's incomplete. I can't reach spirit return with a half scroll." Su Xing groaned. "Did that old man do this on purpose? Or is this another test? Guess I'll have to start searching for the missing half of the Changshan art." Just then, Jean Songshu appeared. "Su Xing, there you are. It's already dark. Perfect timing, senior." I want to trade 50 caddies of spirit rice for 50 spirit stones. Deal. Jin Songshu smiled. You helped me get these rewards in the first place. Splitting them's only fair. If you're too shy to take them, she added playfully, then at least walk me back to the city. Okay. Before long, they arrived at her hotel suite. Jin Songshu stepped out in a set of alluring lace lingerie. So, Junior, she teased, did you come at Jinling to find someone or something? Need my help with either? Time inside the azure cloud fields flowed 1-to-1 with the real world. 7 days inside meant 7 days outside. Senior, I'm gonna hit the restroom. Su Xing said casually. Jean, some shoe had tugged at her neckline, glancing at the mirror. Did my charm drop today, or was this outfit the wrong color? Meanwhile, inside the restroom, Su Xing was deep in thought. Now that I've become a disciple, will the apocalypse still happen? Mr. Mighty, born with extraordinary strength, your body's durability is several times that of a normal person. You have exceptional talent in the body tempering path. A knock came from outside. Su Xing, are you okay? You've been in there forever. He opened the door calmly. Yeah. I'm fine. Jin Songshui let out a breath. Good. I thought something happened. You've been working hard all day, she said softly. How about a shower? Before he could answer, she took his hand, eyes glimmering, or maybe later. The next second, she pushed him down. Once again, the two spent a rather eventful week together in Jingling City. The younger Jin Songshui turned out to be even wilder. Su Xing nearly needed goji berries to recover. Finally, Thomas simulate again. Simulation start. You enter your master's azure cloud pocket realm. Inside the small dimension, spirit rice boosted his cultivation dramatically. He devoured it greedily. It was heavenly. Every day, he tended to the spiritual fields within his portable blessed land. His strength and appetite were monstrous. He could down an entire caddy of spirit rice in one sitting. Soon after, he broke through to the bone forging stage. Last time, it took him 3 years to reach 5th body stage. This time, just 1 week to hit bone forging. Spirit rice really was a miracle food. Guess that's partly thanks to Mr. Mighty too. I gotta bring that Talon back. His rocket-like progress made him obsessed. 3 hours of cultivation each day, and the rest spent leading freshman girls through dungeon runs. As his power grew, his win rates skyrocketed. Requests for his coaching flooded in. He soon paid back the 50 million he owed you, fatty. Damn, bro, you said your money grind speed is inhuman. Then he leaned in. Oh, and Wang Qingxian told me to tell you. Meet her tonight in the grove outside campus. Says it's important. Su Xing didn't stop her this time. Tell her to be careful, he said quietly. That night, under the moonlight, they explored quite a few new moves. And so, Wang Qingxian officially joined the mysterious organization, while Su Xing finally obtained the complete Chongqing art. After Wang Qingxian dropped out, Su Xing continued his cultivation in the spirit field. By the 2nd year after her departure, he'd reached the 7th stage of the bone tempering realm. In the 3rd year, he broke through to the 9th stage. By the 4th, he had achieved bone forging realm but hit a bottleneck he couldn't surpass. According to the spirit farming scripture of Xinlong, different spirit plants offered different rates of cultivation growth. To move further, he needed something stronger than spirit rice. Then he remembered his master had once left him a pouch of spirit plant seeds. He quickly found it and discovered several pale seeds inside. The label read white jade ginseng. Bury an ordinary ginseng deep within the spirit field, nourish it daily with spiritual energy, and harvest it 10 years later. 10 years. He muttered bitterly. That's exactly when the apocalypse hits. Guess I'll be dead by harvest time. Still, the white jade ginseng didn't break his spirit. A thought flashed in his mind. If plants could evolve through spirit energy, could animals do the same? He caught a few chickens and released them into his spirit field sanctuary, feeding them spirit rice. 1 in 10 instantly died, but the survivors grew stronger, even smarter. While he was lost in his spirit chicken project, Wang Qingxian returned with the upper volume of the Eternal Spring technique. Senior, I found a cultivation manual perfect for our path. Su Xing shook his head. I don't need it, but I do have one request. Introduce me to your organization. Wang Qingxian hesitated then nodded. Fine. I've reached Grand Master level. I have the right to bring in new members. Su Xing hugged her with excitement. Thank you, Qingxian. Soon, she led him into a shadow-filled hall, the stronghold of the cult of descent. Elder Shadow Wang Qingxian said respectfully, Su Xing has arrived. The moment he stepped inside, an eerie chill crept up his spine. Elder Shadow's voice echoed, calm yet oppressive. Since you wish to join our order, allow me to explain who we are. We are the cult of dissent. Our doctrine, down with tyranny, the world belongs to the Outworlders. Exterminate the human race. Su Xing nearly choked on his drink. What the hell did I just hear? Elder Shadow slammed the table. Humans are unfit to rule this world. Only the great Outworlders are the true gods. Is this still a cultivation world or a cosmic nightmare? Su Xing thawed in disbelief. Elder Shadow's gaze sharpened. You can still back out now. Once you join the cult of dissent, there is no turning back. Su Xing clenches fists. I won't quit. If the lower volume of the Eternal Spring technique is the price, then I'll give everything I have. Elder Shadow waved a hand. No need for that. If you want a technique, take on a mission or offer a treasure. Su Xing pondered quietly. A treasure? Would spirit rice count? He pulled out a small sack. Elder, can this trade for cultivation method? Elder Shadow took the rice and vanished, never to return. Later, another elder arrived with guards torturing Su Xing to reveal where the rice came from. In the end, he was tortured to death at 29. Elder Zhong, he's dead. What should we do? A disciple asked. Elder Zhong stepped on Su Xing's body and sneered. An insect like you dares dream of immortality? Su Xing's awareness snapped back. The system voice echoed. Skill dead, but unyielding failed. Simulation ended. That elder's face looked oddly familiar. Was it just his imagination? The system chimed again. Select one reward. Mr. Mighty, green talent, 10,000 energy. Foundation peak, cultivation, 1,000 energy. 3,000 gene of spirit rice. Item, 3 million energy. 5-second Jin spirit chickens. Pet, 10,000 energy. Bone forging peak, cultivation, 10,000 energy. Su Xing decided to deal with the cult of dissent later. First, the rewards. Only one reward could be claimed, and he wanted them all. In the end, he chose Mr. Mighty. With his talent, his next run would definitely reach bone forging peak. But he had less than 2,000 energy left, not even enough for another simulation. Time to make money. Su Xing called Jin Song Shui asking if she was free to meet. At the hotel, she asked, "You're selling 50 gene of spirit rice?" "Yeah." He replied, "Help me price it. Are you short on cash?" She asked gently, "If so, I can lend you some." He took a sip of water. "How much can you lend? 50 million? To the surprise, she agreed. Her grandfather ran Gene Trading Bank. Even a 100 million wasn't a problem. Sushin grinned, "Then make it a 100 million. The spirit rice will be the interest. What do you need that much money for?" She asked that he smiled. "I'll tell you later. For now, buy me a batch of white-gray gear from Gene Bank." Before leaving, he warned, "Keep the spirit rise for your own cultivation. Don't sell it. People kill for less." As he left, Su Xing glanced back. I can't let the cult of dissent target her. Back home, exhaustion hit him hard. He laughed bitterly. Great, now I'm a billionaire in debt. How can I make money? Sell rice and chickens? No way. Forget it. I'll find the answer in the next simulation. Drawing green talent. Iron will, your mind is several times stronger than average. When faced with hardship, you never back down. Su smiled faintly. A willpower talent, perfect. He decided to study the gifts left by Master Qin Yunzi. There might be inspiration hidden there. Su Xing found 2 pill recipes, fasting pill, which sustains energy for a week, and beautifying pill said to restore youth to 20 in instant. He grinned, both were gold mines. The first for dieters with no self-control, the second for rich ladies chasing youth. All right, he said with a spark in his eyes, let's make some money. He began refining immediately. A few minutes later, boom, the furnace exploded. Coughing in smoke, Su Xing muttered, yeah, maybe a lighter isn't the right tool. Better study that blazing fire technique. Blazing fire, that must mean real spiritual flame determined to turn debt into wealth. He threw himself in a mastering the fire spell. During that time, Wang Qingxian came to visit. After a passionate night, she ended up joining the cult of dissent. By the next year, Su Xing could control the fire 6 hours a day. Watching the living flame dance on his palm, he shouted, yes. Finally, 6 years, worth it. The fire was deadly. Anything alive turned to charcoal instantly, yet it didn't harm him. A perfect weapon and refining tool. At last, a real offensive spell. Let's see what it does to pills. From then on, his alchemy improved rapidly. In the 7th year, Su Xing attended his sister's funeral. He buried the grief and went back to practice. Eventually, he produced his first batch of pills. The fasting pills were perfect. Not bad, he said. Next up, beautifying pill. It was far harder than he thought. 3 years later, it succeeded. Time to witness a miracle, he said, popping one into his mouth. He looked in the mirror, no change. Did I fail again? Suddenly, his stomach growled. He dashed to the toilet. The stench so strong, even the spirit chickens fainted. When he came out, he looked in the mirror again and froze. His skin was glowing, smooth, and youthful. All right, he said excitedly. I'll tweak the formula, fix that fart issue, then sell these to Jin Songshui. The rich ladies will go nuts. He met her at a hotel handing over a pill. She eyed it. This really makes people younger? Su Xing smiled. Have I ever lied to you? Without hesitation, she swallowed it. Light burst from her body. Impurities poured out, leaving her skin radiant. Su Xing handed her a mirror. Well, marketable enough? She stared. She looked 10 years younger. Grabbing his hand, she exclaimed, How many do you have? I'll buy them all. 100 million per pill. When Jin Sunshu has said 100 million per pill, Su Xing almost fell over. That much? For this thing? Tell me the rest, she said firmly. All of them. I'll buy everything. Su Xing froze. He didn't have any left. She leaned into his chest. Can you make more? His face flushed. I'll look into it. On the way back, Wang Qingxian appeared before him. She had dropped out again, and once more, he didn't stop her. Years later, she returned stronger than ever, a grandmaster. She brought him the upper part of the Chongqing art, but Su Xing refused. I don't want a technique. I want to join the cult of descent. She was shocked but agreed. Elder Shadow Wang said, This is my senior. Su Xing, the elder replied calmly. If he joins, he must contribute. There happens to be a mission. Elder Wang pleaded, It's too dangerous. Let me start with the basics. Fine, the elder said. He's your recruit. Your call. Wang never acts without reason. Su Xing thought, this mission must be deadly. Later that night, after their intimacy, he learned her assignment, leaking human intel to demons at Demon Seal Pass. Yes. She confirmed, it's a suicide mission. I won't let you take part. Then why betray humanity? Her eyes dimmed because I have no way back. Rest, senior, she whispered. Tomorrow I'll introduce you to the other elders. Su Xing sighed. No matter what I ask, she won't tell me the truth. The next day, he went to buy herbs only to find ginseng 10 times the usual price. The demand for recovery potions exploded, said the shopkeeper. If I don't raise prices, I'm done. Su Xing frowned. Could this be linked to the cult's movements? Massive casualties would explain the shortage. Frustrated, he decided to focus on a cheaper version of the beautifying pill, his so-called rich lady happy pill. Soon, he succeeded. A genius. I can mass-produce this. He rushed to Jinling to tell Jin Songshu the good news. But when he arrived, it was too late. She was dead. Staring at her body, Su Xing whispered, When will I finally uncover the truth behind the apocalypse? A shadow appeared behind him. Elder Zhong struck without warning. Su Xing was killed instantly. You have died. Simulation complete. Reward options appeared. Frowny face, iron will, talent 10,000 energy, 5/9 gen spirit chickens. Pet 100,000 energy, beginner blazing fire technique. Spell insight 100,000 energy, basic alchemy of blazing fire, refining insight 100,000 energy. Arg, decision paralysis. I want both iron will and the fire technique. He screamed. Su Xing yelled at the system, You damn brat. Let me bring 2 rewards this time if you've got the guts. Ding. Host may spend 500k energy points to upgrade the simulator. Life Simulator 2.0 update now allows 2 rewards instead of 1. Added immersive simulation mode. Spend 10 energy points to relive any chosen day. Su Xing smirked. Maybe his hidden talent really was wish fulfillment. Alright then. No risk, no reward. 500k it is. Ding. Life Simulator upgraded. Please choose your rewards. He picked Unyielding Will and Introductory Lihua Flame Art Insight, spending 110k points, leaving 11. Looking at his empty wallet, he sighed. Money's never enough. He called Jin Songhua, offering to sell 20 jin of spirit rice. No response. His heart sank. Moments later, 20 million credits hit his account. Use this first, she texted. He almost cried. So this is what being sponsored by a rich beauty feels like. With money ready, he only needed to wait a week to run the simulation again and bring back pill insights. He wondered if his college self had taken the beauty pill, how much younger would he look now? A week later, he started the next simulation. Bing, congratulations. Green talent obtained, lucky streak. Lucky streak. Your luck stat is far above normal. You often find money and a $10 scratch-off nets you $20. Su Xing grinned wide. Now that's a good one. Inside the dorm, Su Xing realized he was inside the simulation again. This time, his goal was to gain enough pill refining experience. Without hesitation, he started grinding. Maybe thanks to Lucky Streak, his batch of spirit chickens had a much higher survival rate and better quality. The success rate of his pills also skyrocketed. The beauty pills gleamed like top-tier jade. He picked up his phone and called Jean Songshua. Songshua, when can you come to Kyoto? How about something good for you? Something this mysterious? She asked curiously. Something that'll make you really happy, he teased. Her shy voice came back with a laugh. You're so bad saying things like that in broad daylight. I'll be there tonight. Wait for me, wait. It's not what you think. He shouted nervously. Later, when they met, he handed her 2 pills. These are my new creations, the weight loss pill and the beauty pill. I call them the rich lady happiness pills. How much do you think they're worth? Just like in the previous simulation, Jean Songshue was astonished. She decided to auction them through the Jean Commerce Bank. Seeing the piles of cash, Su Xing could barely contain himself. So this is what getting rich overnight feels like. Premium versions went to auction. Standard ones went for retail. With Jean Song-shu as influence, he'd never go broke again. So this is financial freedom. He laughed. He sighed. Women really will do anything for beauty. Then he decided to head back to school, the safest place. But his trip back wasn't peaceful. A girl suddenly crashed into him, knocking him to the ground. Hey, handsome. Falling into the same pit must be fate. Mind if I add your WeChat? If you got time to flirt, maybe call the cops first. The beauty pill is mine. Another girl yelled, bitch, he's mine. A knife pressed against his throat. Pretty boy, you know why I'm here, don't you? Though things got messy, Su Xing's unyielding will carried him back safely to campus. He decided to stay put and focus entirely on pill refining. With his chi refinement stuck, he began preparing for the 3rd stage of body tempering, the organ forging realm. That same year, he learned of his younger sister's tragic death. Devastated, he isolated himself and trained harder than ever. He soon realized that the organ-forging realm couldn't be brute-forced. He needed to reread his master Qing Yunzi's Jade Scroll. The scroll detailed the organ-forging pill essential for the breakthrough. The main ingredient, Huang Xian root, strengthens the organs and takes 3 years to cultivate in water. 3 years? I can wait that long. 3 years later, Su Xing finally had enough materials to refine the organ-forging pill. He'd spent those years farming, successfully growing an entire acre of Huang Xian root. First, heat the root with lihua flame until it turns sticky. The next second boom, another explosion. Cough, cough, damn it, this thing's way too hard, but I won't give up. Believing that failure is the mother of success. And after finding many mothers along the way, his control over the lihua flame grew sharper. I can even refine chi gathering powder now. So why not the organ forging pill? Still, it wasn't a total loss. The chi gathering powder boosted his inner energy, making future alchemy smoother. Days passed quietly until one day, an unexpected visitor knocked on his door. It was a middle-aged man who introduced himself as Jean Song-shue's father. I'll be brief, the man said solemnly. First, Song-shue is dead. His tone grew heavier. Second, among her belongings I found these pills. Did you make them? However many you have left, I'll take them all. Su Xing replied calmly, I don't have many weight loss pills left, but I can make more. You need to tell me why. Lumen sighed. Very well. You're human too. You should know the truth. At Demon Ceiling Pass, humanity's situation is dire. We're short on professionals and your weight loss pill can keep a Grandmaster rank warrior from feeling hunger for 3 days. That save time means more hours fighting on the battlefield. Su Xing frowned. So things have gotten that bad that people can't even stop to eat? He finally nodded. All right, I'll do it. Come back in 3 days for the pills. After Jin's father left, Su Xing reignited his flame and continued refining. Yet unease filled his chest. What exactly happened at Demon Ceiling Pass? Why are people rushing there to die? A few days later, they met again. The old man said, young man, here's your payment. I had it converted to gold bars. I don't want your money, Su Xing said. I want to meet the upper command of the great Xian military. If I can, these pills will be my gift. The man nodded. I'll deliver your message. But whether they'll see you isn't my call. He told Su Xing to get in the car. There was somewhere he wanted to take him. Pulling out a black blindfold, he said, put this on. Though anxious, Su Xing thought, worst case, I'll just run another simulation, and got into the luxury car headed for the unknown. Soon, Su Xing arrived at the People's Earth altar, home to the most powerful figures in Great Xia. Just then a deep voice echoed in his mind. Young friend, why not come in? Weren't you looking for me? He froze. Sound transmission, whoever it was had to be Emperor class. He pushed the door open. Inside sat one of Great Xia's top military leaders, Lu Yuanwu. Smiling kindly, he said, Su Xing. I heard you're the one who refined those ration pills. Su Xing blinked. You mean those weight loss pills? Lu chuckled. In peacetime, yes, they're diet pills, but in wartime we call them ration pills. What's really happening in the human world? Su Xing asked. Lu's tone hardened. That's not something you need to worry about. I'm here to buy your pill formula. Su Xing thought, they can't even make it without spirit rice anyway. You can have a recipe for free. I just want to know what's happening at Demon Ceiling Pass. Tell me how my sister, my brothers, and some she really died. Lu hesitated, then sighed. All right, but you must never speak of this again. He led Su Xing outside. All around were students and teachers from Kyoto Vocational University. Su Xing frowned. Why are all these people here? Lu answered, this is the human fortress at Demon Ceiling Pass. Every professional must join the city to fight for humanity's survival, but my classmates are only mastering. Lu cut him off. Yes. Just as you're thinking, grandmasters are nearly extinct, he said grimly. Most of them are already dead. He pointed toward the glowing barrier ahead. Your sister, your brothers, and Song Shui, they all fell there. Stay inside the fortress. Keep refining pills for the soldiers. Don't go beyond the barrier. Back in the alchemy room, Su Xing finally knew the truth yet felt no relief. I want to see it with my own eyes, he thought. I have to know how they died. But when he opened the door, a guard blocked him. Sorry, Mr. Su. Without Commander Lu's order, you can't leave. He didn't argue. Returning to his room, he began refining a mimic mist pill. Minutes later, it succeeded. I really am a genius. He grinned. First try. He cracked the door open and tossed the pill out. The guard collapsed instantly, unconscious. Su Xing slipped away. He made his way toward the battlefield barrier, heart pounding. As he stepped through the shield, the scene before him froze his blood. A colossal beast towered above the ruins. A monster forged of metal and rage. An old Taoist shouted, its weak spot is the eye. Take out the left one. Cultivators surged forward, launching attacks. The beast swatted them aside like flies. Grabbing one by the throat, it sneered, foolish human. The cultivator roared and detonated himself. The explosion blew the monster's left eye apart. Now the old man yelled, all units attack. Hundreds charged, blades flashing, flames soaring. The entire battlefield shook like thunder. The blood-eyed monster roared with laughter. You fools can't kill me. The old Taoist charged forward, swearing to avenge his fallen disciple. His sword pierced straight into the monster's eye. The beast screamed like a child calling for its mother. Old bastard, it howled. I'll drag you to hell with me. Moments later, the monster collapsed dead at last. One cultivator sighed, so many dead just to kill one beast. Watching the carnage, Su Xing finally understood. This must have been how Nianan and the others died. Behind him, Lu Yuanwu appeared and said solemnly, as long as Great Xia stands, there will always be those willing to die for it. Child, go home. There's nothing left here worth mourning. Su Xing realized then Demon Ceiling Pass had fallen. The invasion was only a matter of time. Turning grief into resolve, he decided to master the organ-forging pill and break through to the next realm. He swallowed the pill without hesitation. A heartbeat later, his body exploded into flames of qi. Simulation ended. Available rewards, lucky streak, green talent. 10,000 energy, sudden inspiration, green talent. 10,000 energy, bone forging realm, cultivation stage. 10,000 energy, Lihua alchemy technique, beginner insight. 230,000 energy. What the hell? I just blew myself up with my own pill. I didn't even fail the furnace. He recalled, the ingredients came from a full acre of 3-year-old Huangxian root, so the medicine power was too strong. The age of the herb matters. I'll need stronger cultivation before trying again. He chose to extract beginner Lihua alchemy insight. Ding, you have claimed sudden inspiration green talent. Cost 10,000 energy. Remaining 133. Ding. You have claimed Lihua alchemy technique beginner. Cost 100,000 energy. Remaining 33. So this simulation finally connected to Demon Ceiling Pass. Turns out the beasts don't descend 15 years later. Once the pass falls, they invade our world. They've been there all along, just sealed away. 15 years left, that's time enough. He gritted his teeth or not. If hundreds of runs won't save the world, I might as well be a damn NPC. In reality, Jean Songhua took the beauty pill and was thrilled. Her dark circles and wrinkles vanished. She looked barely 20. Its official name is Beauty Pill, Su Xing said, but I call it the rich lady's happiness pill. Think it'll sell? Ding. 1 billion credits landed in his account. Holy crap, that's rich lady power. Jean laughed. I'll take everything you've got. 1 million per pill. If you make more, call me. Tears welled up. For once, I actually feel like a main character in real life. It's not that I hate money. He told her, but stacking beauty pills has limited effect. Who said I'm eating to myself? She smirked. Did you forget my family name? I'm the only daughter of the Jean Commerce Group, so of course I'm selling them at auction. Then don't pay me in cash, he said. Convert all to white-grade equipment. She hugged him. 1 billion in white gear. That's over 5,000 items. Why do you need so many? Please, I can't explain yet, but I really need them. She sighed. All right, but that much gear will draw attention from the authorities. Then form a guild, she suggested. Use it to buy low-tier gear and upgrade in-house. Su Xing snapped his fingers. Perfect. Let's call our guild the Taro Association. With business settled, he grinned. Su, should we take care of our business now? He slipped away fast. The guild setup's in your hands. I'm heading back to campus. Feeling totally neglected, Jean Songshu has snapped. You always use me and run. You heartless jerk. Back in the dorm, he checked the upgraded system. A new feature, immersive simulation. He wanted to try before but lacked energy. Thanks to Shui's funding, he could finally dive in. Ding, green talent, commanding presence. You look broader-shouldered and more imposing. The opposite sex tends to like you more. He face-bombed. End of the world and I get a dating buff. Refund. He entered the Azure Cloud Pocket realm. Last run, he died to an organ-forging pill explosion. Smart as ever, he blamed overaged herbs and went back to body training. He lifted half a stock of spirit ginseng, half the dose. This time, we play it safe. Days blurred, training, farming, raising spirit chickens, boosting newbies, and sending Wang Qingxian to the Advent cult. At last, he hit Bone Forging realm again. Time to swallow the pill. Memories of self-detonation made him hesitate. Lab test with Song Shui at first. I'm not re-rolling my life again. He also needed protein. Time to bulk up. He glared at the coop. No. Egg a day? Then it's chicken soup. Soon, Songhua called. I tested your organ-forging pill. Brutal, but the power spike is real. Can you get to Lu Yuanwu? He asked with her introduction. Lu took the meeting and was very interested. A pill that force-level soldiers? That could matter. If fearless troops plus my heavy-duty pill line up, maybe we ride out the apocalypse. With that settled, he focused on spirit eggs, trying to harden his body enough to take the pills safely. One day, mid-rotisserie, Song Shui yelled for him. He opened the door and she yanked him down the hall. To his shock, they stopped by a helicopter. A chopper? Seriously? What happened? She flashed a grin. Your organ-forging pill just made big waves. Minutes later, they landed at the People's Temple by helicopter. Lu Yuanwu spoke first. Su Xing, according to our military analysts, 5 organ-forging pills can boost a mastering combatant's power by 50%. How many can you produce now? Su thought for a moment. Conservatively, 200 a month. Jean Songhua gasped. That means in 5 months we could have 200 new grandmasters. Lu's eyes gleamed. For Great Xia and for humankind. That's a monumental leap. He declared, as long as you supply enough pills, you'll receive third-class sequence privileges. Jean froze. Third class? Even your second-class general. She turned to Su. Only a few 100 people in the whole country have that rank and most of them died serving the people. You're practically the number 1 human alive. Su asked, General, are there any cultivation-type dungeons in existence? Lu nodded. There are, but only in classified records. No coordinates. Those files matter to me, Sue said. I'll keep producing the pills seriously. There must be more cultivation dungeons, hidden ones with chances like Azure Cloud's legacy. 3 days later, in the study, Jean Susua dropped a pile of secret files on his desk. I'm off to the Taro Association. Take your time, she said, leaving. This one, Sue's eyes lit up. System, spend 100,000 energy. Start immersive simulation 1 hour. Ding. 100,000 energy consumed. Immersion started. Remaining, 407. Oh, I'm inside. Feels just like teleporting. Worth every point. Classified. What could be that top secret? Then he saw it. A page that made his blood run cold. Dungeon name, Blood Demon Pit difficulty. Warning, cultivation type dungeon. Extreme danger. Not recommended below Grandmaster rank. Possible appearance of legendary or even saint-level NPCs. Recommendation, 5 king rank fighters minimum led by 1 emperor rank powerhouse. 7 kings and 2 emperors died here. That's not a dungeon. That's a meat grinder. The deeper he read, the colder his spine. No wonder they keep these dungeons secret. Entry info. Upon arrival, you spawn near the Blood Demon sect. Run north immediately. Southwest is their main base. Behavior. Sect disciples are blood-hungry killers. They'll hunt every intruder on sight. They possess artifacts that track a player's exact position. A tracking dungeon with kill on-site mobs? That's suicide. But wait, someone had to bring this intel back. Someone survived. Report by Xiang Su. Date, New Era, April 26, 1978. If a powerhouse like that's still alive, I need to find him and learn how he cleared it. But right now, I'm just a measly foundation stage cultivator. That dungeon's way out of my league. Isn't there any dungeon I can explore in my current stage? After digging through countless files, he finally found one, Heavenly Luo Tournament, a 2-star dungeon. It was a time loop instance allowing only 1 participant per run, always reliving the same day. That day, known to the cultivators inside as January 1st, 7266 of the Luo calendar, marked the annual grand event of the tournament. The player would inhabit a foundation stage cultivator named Luo Xiaochuan and experience everything he went through. Nothing could be taken out except memories. This might be worth a shot. You can't bring items out, but sometimes a cultivator's memories are the real treasure. Then he checked another dossier, Age of Dharma's End, difficulty 1 star. That dungeon was set in the dying age of cultivation. Spiritual energy depleted, spirit stones extinct, and nearly all cultivators stuck at the cheer refining stage. 3 great sects remained, Floating Life Sect, Xian Huang Sect, and Chongqing Sect. Ancient remnants preserving fragments of immortal arts. His heart leapt. Cultivation techniques, perfect for me. Wait, Chongqing Sect, could it be connected to the Chongqing art? Maybe the Advent cult technique came from this very dungeon. Ding, immersive simulation, 10 minutes remaining. He immediately called Lu Yuanwu. Commander, I want coordinates for the Age of Dharma's End and Heavenly Luo Tournament. The Dharma's in one I can give, Luo said, but the Luo Tournament closed 3 years ago. Doesn't matter, Su replied. Send both. 3 years in sim doesn't mean 3 years in reality. Worth every point, he grinned, and the coordinates don't even count toward my rewards. He exited the simulation. While the memory was still fresh, he quickly jotted down both sets of coordinates. Those 2 dungeons may seem easy, but the Age of Dharma's in still has ancient cultivators. Better play it safe and level up first. Resume simulation. After getting the coordinates from Lu Yuanwu, he devoted himself fully to alchemy. Living on spirit rice and spirit eggs, his body cultivation reached bone forging realm, but his chi cultivation remained at the foundation peak. Just training my body isn't enough, he muttered. Could my method be wrong? Maybe I should reread Master Kenji Unzi's manual. The text revealed that breaking through to Golden Core required an intense concentration of spiritual energy in the Dantian, but the aura density in this realm was far too low. I need a way to flood my core with energy fast. Then it hit him, a pill named the Essence Nourishing Pill. Main ingredient, essence grass. Years passed. After countless failures, he finally refined 5 furnaces of low-grade essence nourishing pills. Unlike the organ forging pill, which was brutally potent and dangerous for weak bodies, the essence nourishing pill was mild enough even for cheer refiners. The spiritual flows endless and the qualities several times higher. Though still stuck at Lake Foundation, his strength had multiplied many-fold. So that's it. Cultivation really is about constant experimentation. At this pace, once I reach Golden Core, I'll be on par with a mastering fighter. Then I can finally dive into the age of dermas in myself. In his 12th simulated year, his chi grew dense and steady. A breakthrough was coming. He spent 3 months refining over 100 essence nourishing pills, preparing for his core formation. Spiritual energy surged through him like a roaring river. Thunder rolled in his heart as his core condensed. His consciousness flared, breakthrough achieved. Exiting the simulation, he laughed ecstatically. One golden core in my belly. My fate's my own. Once I pay the cost, I'll step in an early core stage.
Alright, that's the end of the story. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.